You know, is it acceptable for somebody to decline a date if they don't look like their online profile?
Absolutely.
Yes. Ain't that catfishing?
Damn, they
Yeah.
was saying like,
That's
mean, like,
catfishing, right?
okay, so I seen.
Oh, I'm going home.
Don't even come here shorter than what you said you are.
Exactly.
Damn, like,
That's
what you gonna have you gonna have a ruler out there, a tape measure?
Nah,
Like,
cause
I can see her with a tape
for
measure.
sure. Like,
I'm the tape measurer. I'm 5'6".
Oh, okay.
I can look up and I can look down. Be what you said you are.
So let me ask you something, right? If a guy pull up to a date and he,
I already don't like how this
he
started.
5'11", right?
Mhm.
Then he take his shoes off and then he 5'7", right?
Oh, wow.
You're a liar.
He's enhanced.
I trust
He
nothing.
enhanced
No.
himself just like how
Alright.
y'all enhance
Got the
yourself.
Tim, got the
That's
Boots
different.
on.
That
If
is
I
different.
come,
What's the difference?
the difference
That
is
is different.
I'm not taking a piece of my body. If I walk into the date and you like me because you saw my ass and then I rip it off and leave it on the side, you're gonna be dread. Don't take off 4 inches of your height.
4
Fuck is he talking about?
No,
That's
that
totally
is insane.
different. That's totally different. Now, the only bias I would say, women, I can't be with you and then you peel off your hairline. Oh,
Damn, the hairline.
that's different. If my wig come off, my wig come off. You peel off your wig? Didn't I just talk about
That's
that?
literally what she just said.
That's why he back there.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Daily Wrap Up Crew. No booker, but I go by the name of Eli. Make sure y'all follow me on IG, the real Y
This nigga
Eli.
got IG.
I got IG after like 12 years. Like, you know what I mean? Shoot me a DM, man. I'll be active on this, so make sure y'all follow me. Last but not least, we got Ace.
Yes. I ain't gonna say last.
Last but not
all right,
least.
but yes, indeed. And
Messed up your lines.
as usual, shout out to my brother Jew. And y'all know what we on. They waiting on the intro like a Drake response. You heard?
Oh,
Okay. All right, you know what I mean?
bars. I like
He was
that.
thinking about that all day. He said, yeah, let me write that
Sitting
down.
on that one,
Nah,
right? You can
Nah,
tell.
I just came up with that. We was talking about this shit. Yeah.
I seen you pull out the BlackBerry too. I seen you right
I
there.
mean, with the side scroll. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah.
Child Drizzy, you heard?
Anyway, we got some special guests in the building. Let them know where they can follow you at.
What's up, y'all? My name is Sapphire. My Instagram is Sapphire Marie. I am a personal trainer. I'm from Queens, but my gym is out in Brooklyn. It's called Legacy Training Studios. Make sure y'all follow that as well.
Shout out to Brooklyn and Queens, you heard?
My name is Godiva. My IG is Demi Godiva.
She said that.
I don't like that tone because you was giving different tone throughout the beginning of the show.
You want me to start off sweet or you want me to start up like,
Nah,
go
be
ahead.
authentic. Be
You are.
authentic.
I'm both. I'm a Gemini. You're going to get a lot of different sides today.
Oh, boy.
We're going to move on. We're going to move on.
Hello, my name is Crystal.
Jones.
Well, clearly I'm from Harlem.
Harlem and-
Is he gonna say it? Like Lenox Avenue, if you want to be real specific. Sure.
Shout
Forster. Like, and my Instagram is Chanel X Crystal. Like, damn.
Listen, before we get into these topics, make sure y'all subscribe if y'all not already subscribed. Hit the like button, join the membership, and cop the merch, man. Dailyrapupcrew.co, man. And join the second YouTube channel.
Daily Wrap Up Crew clips, yeah.
Okay, that's clean. That's clean, man. Listen, let me get to this first topic, right? I seen recently, there's a lot of conversation about the whole sugar relationships. We got sugar babies, sugar daddies, websites and all that. Why do you think more women are embracing that sugar relationship lifestyle? Do you think it's empowering or it's exploitative?
I feel like more women are embracing it because this whole trend of this soft girl era is going a little rampant as of right now. And most women, nowadays, it seems like doesn't really want to go to this modern woman aesthetic where it was like maybe like, I would say maybe about like 4 or 5 years ago, it was like the hustler, the independent, the boss girl. That's what was trending, and it's more so shift. So like the sugar baby lifestyle, the stay-at-home girlfriend lifestyle, that seems more appealing because of the aesthetic, where it's just like, I'm just a girl, and because I'm a woman, certain things are owed to me, and it creates this like damsel in distress perspective. But personally, I don't think something like that is empowering, but to each their own at the end of the day. Overall, the lifestyle is pretty much for those I see that don't really want to go to 9 to 5. There was this woman on TikTok that literally went viral that says that she chooses this lifestyle because she never dreamed of labor when people asked her what her dream job is. So whereas being a sugar baby, being a female, being feminine, being soft, and just creating this perspective of entitlement around themselves and running with that and expecting men to take care of them, even as like a sugar baby, it doesn't really seem like, well, let me just say, to me, it doesn't really seem all that worthwhile at the end of the day, because when he leaves, then what? Like, my mother always taught me, you give a man a power to feed you, he has the power to starve you as well. And I don't think that they realize that in the moment, because the lifestyle is, you know, a bit extravagant and more so probably not what they used to. But then once he's gone, once the money dries up, it's like, then what? And now it's a soft version of prostitution to me.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay.
But I feel like also you gotta, granted, and I know girls who are sugar babies and stuff like that, but the guy's giving you all these things or whatever, he's giving you money. Once that money is received, you choose to how you want to spend it. You can save it, stack it, because clearly the money is gonna run dry. You gotta figure out what's your next move, what's your plan B. If you just want to go from one trick to the next, to the next, to the next, then that's on you. But also, hey, get it how you live. Make that money. Don't let it make you.
That's a fact.
Okay. What's your thoughts? And bring the mic closer, because I know
I
you look like you got a lot to say on this. So, yeah.
I'm gonna keep it brief. Honestly, I feel like if you have that relationship with somebody and they're providing you with money, they're providing you with a lifestyle that you want, and you're safely enjoying yourself, whether you're getting some good dick out of it or you're just having a good time out of it, amazing, enjoy. But I feel like in recent news, whether it's celebrities or just people we know personally, it's becoming more apparent that most of these girls are not happy. Most of them are getting this lifestyle, and in the background, they're depressed. They're getting beat up. They're getting tortured. They're getting literally and figuratively shitted on.
For sure.
Okay?
Oh, no.
So
Niggas on caught out to them Dubai
Those
trips.
Dubai
We know what those is
like,
about.
and now,
You know what I mean?
you know, it's becoming like, oh, I love getting peed on. Like, now that's coming out. And it's like, do you? I don't think you really do. Some girls, they have their kinks. Some girls have their kinks, but I'm just saying, a lot of times it comes out that the girls aren't happy once that relationship ends. So I just feel like if it's comfortable, if it's safe, go ahead, do it. Make sure you're advancing your life while you're getting that. Other than that, make sure you get your own bag.
Yeah, a lot of women think because they're young and they in Miami that they can enjoy getting pissed on. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's a bar right there. You know, you see what I did?
That's a bar?
You know what I mean? Like, you see what I did there.
No,
But,
you're not good.
we're not gonna get. But, Ace, what's your thoughts on this?
I think they tried something when she was talking about that independent boss woman era or whatever, and they realized that this ain't for me. Like, I mean, I'm
Like,
lazy. I want to be taken care of. You know what I mean? So
Take care of me.
now they, I'm a soft girl. I'm just a girl now. I mean, I'm just trying to reel it back. You know what I mean? So I think sugar daddy is just how. It's not nothing new. Like, it been sugar daddies back in the day, it's sugar daddies now. Like, they just going back to the natural order of things, in my opinion. Like,
Natural order?
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily the
Yeah, like
natural
I was
order.
with you and then you said that natural
Explain
order.
that
It's
part.
like,
Well,
it's in a woman's nature to be wanted to take care of, right?
okay.
So it's her natural order. Like,
because back in the
Yeah, but
day,
she
we
wanted to be
wasn't
taken-
doing a damn thing.
But you wanted to be taken care
I
of.
wasn't doing
because
a
you
damn
wanted
thing.
We was doing more nurturing. We wasn't working back in the day. We wasn't allowed to
it was
work.
an exchange, but y'all was still.
But
you know
I'm
what I
saying
mean?
back in the day, so the way they have their sugar daddy thing is girls have sex, they hopefully cook, clean, do home good stuff, while the men provide and take care of the household, give them money, take care of them financially. That would be the sugar daddy lifestyle now. Back in the day, that's just how it was. But again, a lot of them women will tell you they was getting their ass whooped if the food was burnt, if the food was late,
If they
didn't make a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they had a bad day at work, they get home from the army, your ass is whooped.
I think that's important what you said because, you know, obviously when you think of social media, people only ever post the positive. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of motherfuckers be in debt,
Literally
struggling,
highlight
homeless. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and I think that's the same thing with the sugar baby concept. It's like on the outside, it looks like, man, I'm on this yacht. I'm getting flued out, whatever the case is, and he only wants companionship. That's how they always try to finesse it. He only wants companionship. The nigga fucking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some niggas do want companionship. I get it. But for the most part, niggas is trying to fuck. Like, you get what I'm saying? And you want at some point, like you said, you will the money will drop or you will age out of that. Like, you know, you'll get older. He'll find somebody younger that's more attractive. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? So that's how she's saying, oh, get the money, save it, invest it, whatever the case is. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of women are gravitating to that lifestyle because they do think it's just, well, I'm gonna just find me an old white man that dick don't work and he just want companionship.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, they got pills now.
Yeah.
Well, why y'all say they not happy though? Because I don't see a lot of women leaving the lifestyle. Like, even if you saying they getting their ass beat or they getting peed on shit on, they will still leave that nigga and go find another one and do the same shit. So how you not happy?
That's because once they get that, they don't.
And then when they with a good nigga that's treating them right and they happy, they leave that nigga because he broke. Or he not broke, but he not taking on vacations. He not buying on Birkins and shit.
People get addicted to the lifestyle.
It's like what Godiva was saying. It is a lifestyle thing. It's like if you cannot see yourself living less than a certain way, like you are.
So you living that lifestyle, you happy, right?
Of course, but to an extent, I'm happy because of the things I'm receiving. I'm happy because of the money.
So you happy enough to stay in that because you. The happiness is outweighing the bad, right?
That's not always the case.
Yeah,
Like I said, it's very subjective. We don't talk about the
mental issues that they go through. Like she said, motherfuckers getting shit on. You think they really happy to get shitted on or pissed on? Like after the break, yeah, for sure. But
this is the thing. All of us have worked a job that we did not want to stay at, and we got our payment. They're making a lot more money to do shit they really don't want to do. They'll be happy with the money. They're not happy with the actions. And I could say that some girls have their kinks again. But more than likely, they're probably not happy.
I think women just want to be openly they just want to be openly like prostitutes. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's not women. It's some people. There's some men and there's some women.
But that's
let's not do too much.
I feel like every woman got a price tag. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Every woman, enough money, y'all gonna double guess your morals and be like,
okay,
nobody gonna know that I just did
that
this.
is extremely subjective as hell because. Not to toot my own horn. I've been around the best of the best and the lowest of the lowest.
I'm gonna say something wild.
And for me, it's about character. There is no price tag on my morals, on my values, who I am as a person, and who I am, especially as a woman. Because there is nobody and nothing on this planet that can deter me from any of that. So as a man, let's just say you approach me. Yes, you got the bands, you got the cars, you got the house, you could fly me out, you could buy me bags, you could get me designer. Cool, but you ain't shit. You're trying to be on me. You're being condescending. You're demeaning. All these things. You think that me as a woman, I'm gonna stand there because you can provide for me materialistically? You must be insane. There's more to life than things. I can't take that shit with me. I can't build a family off of that. So let's just say there's a man that, I don't want to say broke because that's different, but someone that's not doing as financially well as the next guy or as much as me or even just a little less, but you have morals, you have values, you care for me, you make sure the bills are paid, you make sure I'm good emotionally, you make sure, like, let's say if we had kids, there's clothes on their back, they in school, there's food in the fridge. I'm going to choose you. You can't take me on a trip every month. You can't fly me out every year, but I can build a home with you. I can be happy. There's something sustainable there. And I feel like that's what a lot of women tend to overlook, like the sustainability of it. And they're more so living in the moment. Nobody thinks about longevity anymore because this whole YOLO thing is like, I'm living right now. I'm in the moment. I'm never going to be this young. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to have fun. Cool. There's a time for that. But once you reach a certain age, it's like, okay, when does that get played? When do you realize that a solid foundation overpowers everything materialistic that you could get your hands on?
When did you realize?
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, it was after I lost my dad. I lost my dad in 2018, and thank you. And my whole life pretty much shifted after that. I was one of those people that was living in the moment. I was always thinking, there's always tomorrow. There's always the next day. I could do this another time. I was not thinking about past what I was doing in that time because I'm just like, it's here. It's now. Let me live it. Enjoy it. There's no... my concept of time was different.
Yeah.
And after that, because it was very sudden, it wasn't like no one was prepared. Like it just happened.
Yeah.
And for me, that shifted my mentality, and it's just like, okay, he installed a lot of values, a lot of morals and principles in me, more so than even my mom did. So now this person that I had as a cornerstone, as an anchor, that literally everything I was doing to see them be happy for me later, I can't even enjoy it now because they're not there. Because I didn't really put myself in those moments where I should have. And
I would like to know, like, you know, the women that are subscribing to that lifestyle, like where are their fathers in their lives? Like, you know, because a lot of women don't have that father figure, so they think that a man love bombing them is a form of, oh, they love me or they actually care about me or whatever the case is. So I would be curious to see how many of the women that subscribe to that lifestyle, if they have a father figure in their life, how active is their father figure, like, you know what I mean? Because there might be a correlation there, like, you know what I mean?
There is, like, if you really look at it, like, the main thing that's in the news right now is Kamora's daughter with that 65-year-old man, and she's 21. But then when you remember, maybe it was like a couple months ago or last year, like, she was going back and forth with her father on the internet. To me, it looks like she's looking for that void that her father doesn't.
Yo, they had a video where he was like, yo, I'm going to stop paying your bills. And she was like, yo, if you stop, I'll find somebody else to pay it or something.
And
it
look
like
what
a video
happened.
Like that, yeah.
Oh, she stood on business when it came to that.
Oh,
she
yeah,
was not playing. So then, and then...
Could have stood on business a little better.
Not a little better.
He looked crazy.
So like I truly feel that the correlation is there. And with me, like I said, being with someone that had an active father, because my parents weren't together after a while, but my dad remained active in me and my brother's life until, you know, the very end. So having that influence and seeing like what a stand-up man is, it has made my choices better in relationships and as far as how I carry myself, because eventually I do want to be a mom. Eventually I do want my own family, but I know that a 2-parent household is important. The last thing, no disrespect to anybody, that I would aspire to be is a single mother. That's granted, things happen, and not to take that away from anyone, but if I had the chance to choose, and I feel like most women are like that too. Nobody really chooses that lifestyle, and things happen.
Wait, what?
Nobody chooses to be a single mother.
Nobody chooses?
What?
I said not everybody.
Not everybody.
Okay.
But no, you said nobody chooses.
Well, all right. Well, yeah, not everybody.
I mean, I see motherfuckers every day. Like, I mean, shout out to Drea, but you know, it's like, you know,
we not even gonna talk about that lady. Damn.
Listen,
shots this episode.
Nah, a little bit. Like, let me get to this next topic. 'Cause I feel like we could talk about this topic all day. You know, is it acceptable for somebody to decline a date if they don't look like their online profile?
Absolutely.
Yes. Ain't that catfishing?
Damn, they were saying like,
That's
I mean, like,
catfishing, right?
okay, so but I think,
I'm going home.
Don't even come here shorter than what you said you were.
Exactly.
damn, like,
That's
what you gonna have a ruler out there, a tape measure?
Nah, because
I can see her with a tape.
for sure. Like,
I'm the tape measurer. I'm 5'6".
Okay.
I can look up and I can look down. Be what you said you are.
Okay.
So you know what 6 foot look like?
Don't look at me.
Yeah,
I
close
do.
enough. Like, oh, he look close
Close
enough.
enough.
You know what I'm
do.
saying? Like,
All I
out of
know-
the
I
5'10", 5'11" niggas, they just round up and 6
that's
foot.
that's
like, I
perfectly
mean,
fine as long as you're taller than me in heels.
Got
We're
you.
good,
Hello.
because that's how I step out on a regular.
Got you.
But as far as looks go, when you're dating, that is the first thing that attracts you to somebody. It's physical appearance. You don't know somebody just by looking at them. You see them, they look good, they catch your attention. Okay, now let me go further, dig deeper into that. But the superficiality of it is aesthetic, is appearance. That's the first thing you see. That's the first thing to go off of. How they dress, how they look, how they carry themselves. Are they well groomed? Men, are their fingernails dirty? Are they cut? How they
smell.
teeth? Right, smell, shoe. First thing I look at a man is his teeth, his nails, his shoes. Those are the main things that I pay attention
Your
to.
skin.
But people still have like hormonal issues. So skin, I can't really like.
Hormonal
At this
issues.
big age.
Well, it depends.
Figure out your routine.
Skin, it depends.
Like
If
they
it's-
going through puberty or
if
some
it's-
shit. Like, you know
but
what I mean?
some,
Oh, hell.
At this
Listen,
big age, like,
listen. When it comes to that, that's a hit or miss. It depends how the rest of you look. But as far as like those basic things, if I'm walking past you in the street, those are the first things that I see, that I notice. And if that is appealing to me, that's what attracts me. Yeah, I'm gonna want to pursue that, get to talk to you, and then based on personality, we'll see if we're compatible or not. So if I'm on a dating profile, you look a certain way, you're coming off a certain way. I meet you in person, and like, let's say on your profile you said you're 6'2", you're 220, and your picture is like you're dark skin with a full beard.
Some locks.
Right. But I meet you, you got a Caesar, patches, you're 5'7". What am I doing with you?
That's a whole different person.
You see what I'm talking? So of course that's not okay.
That hurt my feelings.
So let me ask you a question.
Patches is
Who do you think is more likely to be catfished by the opposite sex, men or women?
Men. Women, we have makeup, we have nails, we have weave, we have lashes, we have extensions, we
Filters.
can filter. Yeah.
It don't stop.
It definitely don't.
I'm not gonna lie, and some women do the crazy filters with editing their eyes, their nose, their mouth, their teeth.
They
It's
go
over.
too overboard with
The celebrities that don't even look bad is face tuning crazy. So
would a man be if he met you and he said, "Damn, this ain't"?
I ain't even mad at him.
You ain't mad at him?
If I don't look like that picture that's on that profile that he's been looking at for God knows how long it took for this date to conspire, I'm not even mad at you.
So what if
That's
like
crazy.
a couple months down the line and he see without your makeup and your wig and he like, nah, that's not what I signed up for. That's cool too.
without my wig.
Well,
That's part of the catfish, man.
No, you know what is funny?
Sure.
Because a lot of my pictures, I do still wear wigs. So if a guy see me with locks, he'll be like, nah, never mind. I would bust out laughing like, oh my God.
I feel like it really depends. It's like if you're going overboard with it, like the way that me, myself, my friends, we carry ourselves, we do makeup, we still look the same. It's just enhanced. It's not like a cake face. It's not a mask. But it's the women that sit there and put on like pounds of makeup.
Not their skin tone.
Yeah, looking like creating different features that aren't actually there.
Right, so let me ask you something, right? If a guy pull up to a date and he,
I don't like how this
he
started.
5'11", right? Then he take his shoes off, and then he 5'7", right?
Oh, wow.
You're a liar.
He's enhanced.
I trust
He
nothing
enhanced
else.
himself, just like how y'all enhance yourself.
That's different. If I come,
What's the difference?
The difference is I'm not taking a piece of my body. If I walk into the date and you like me because you saw my ass and then I rip it off and leave it on the side, you're gonna be dread. Don't take off 4 inches of your height. Fuck is he talking about? That's totally different. That's totally different. Now, the only bias I would say, women, I can't be with you and then you peel off your hairline. Oh,
Damn, the hairline.
that's different. If my wig come off, my wig come off. You peel off your wig? Didn't I just talk about that?
That's literally what she just said.
That's why he back there. Point being, if you take off your hairlines or if you untwist your locks and it come out, I'm leaving.
But he enhancing himself just the same way you.
Yeah, you're a man. Don't do it.
What you mean?
You know what it is? I'm sorry.
That's sexist.
And I am about to go. You know why? Granted, I have people that do it. But the standard y'all set, the tone men, not y'all, the tone men set for generations to come, y'all can't do it yet. It's not okay. It's not okay without y'all looking a little zesty.
I don't think
that's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. That's kind of crazy.
I'm sorry. I didn't make that a rule.
Who made the rule?
Men, maybe not y'all. Generations before y'all made it where it's not okay for y'all to do it. So now we're looking at it like, don't do that.
Yeah, but generations before that too, women wasn't super enhanced. Like I was just what movie I was watching yesterday?
Women have always enhanced themselves.
Not to the level that we got now. This shit's outrageous. BBLs, fucking makeup, wig. You seen transformation videos? It's whole different motherfuckers.
It is. Everything is just crazier as time goes on.
And that's what we were talking about. Like once that comes off, if the physical features is not there, like that's a catfish. It's not okay. And if he was to walk out after seeing that, I don't blame him because I don't look like the person that you saw. Because I'm hoping that in this day and age, people are dating like for down the long run. You expect me to believe you look a certain way, but then I'm like, wait, he looks like this, right? Off a dating profile. I'm like, all right, we've been talking for a couple months. Like maybe this could be like my future husband, future father of my kids. They look, they have like certain features. I'll meet you in person. You don't have none of these features that I've been looking at online. It's just like, who are you at this point?
That's fair. I'm just saying, me personally, a lot of women be out there catfishing, and it hurts my heart. You know what I mean? Because
I feel bad for y'all.
I drove, I picked you up, and now I'm like, damn,
You let her get in
I
the
got to
car?
be obligated.
Yeah,
to
You let her get in the car?
Well, how'd it go?
And there was a stranger?
Yeah, for sure.
She
You
could have went
brave.
right back upstairs once you saw that. You ain't had to unlock the door, bro.
I did pull off on Shorty one time. I'm not gonna lie.
It was that crazy?
Yeah, it was kind of bad. Like, cause she was BBW. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to none of the
You sound like you
BBWs.
shaming my
You know what I'm
brother.
saying? But that wasn't what I seen. Like, but you know they've got the waist trainers and shit like that. So they got now they got the hourglass shape, and she ain't. The waist trainer must have. I don't know. Maybe she had to get a new waist trainer or some shit. She didn't have it on that day, and I was
2-day
just,
shipment they had that.
Yeah, the Amazon Prime didn't hit. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely drove off. Like, but it reminds me of that. You ever watch Insecure?
If a man ever dropped off
Where E
for
said
me,
she was on a
I'ma
date with
pass
some
out.
nigga, and the nigga was
Right on the
disappointed when he
sidewalk.
seen her, and he walked off.
I'ma just lay there.
I don't remember that shit.
Yeah, it was a
Let
scene
my
like
neighbor
that,
come
man.
get me.
Like, yo, but yeah. So the only reason this topic was even a thing because I seen a video with this woman. It was going viral.
The heavy set woman, and she had
Yeah,
the
she had the
hat on.
filters and the wig
I ain't gonna
and
lie.
the makeup.
Now that is not an unattractive woman. She did not have to drag it like that.
She just didn't do her makeup.
She
and
just
have
didn't
her
do
hair
her.
done.
Yeah, come with your hair done. That hat made
You
a
said
difference.
she wasn't.
She's not an unattractive woman. Because when she had her bare face, it was fine. And then there was a video of her going live where she was doing her makeup and she let the people in the comments guide her on how to do certain things, whatever cases. And she had a more of a natural beat face without filter, and it was fine. The filters would messed her up. She did too
We
much.
must be talking about two different videos because the shit I seen, she wasn't an attractive woman. Like, so.
She's not. The lady I saw was not unattractive. She might not be your type because she was more of a heavy set woman and she had more than one chin.
I mean, they got.
But
I really don't trust women when they judge other women. 'Cause y'all got a bias.
She was not ugly.
There's a bias there towards other women. Like, y'all really don't. Y'all be scared to call other women like unattractive. So
No, if
they
she was ugly, I would have
unattractive,
definitely
like,
said she was ugly.
She's in her own way. She's beautiful. Like, nobody ain't trying to hear that. Like, you know what
So
I'm saying?
everybody heard when I said she just wasn't unattractive, right?
We gonna show the video, and we gonna ask the fellas, not the women. We gonna ask the fellas.
There's more fellas in here than women.
Yeah, but the fellas' opinions is one that matter. Like, so I'm gonna ask them if they unanimously agree that this woman is not attractive. Then
I seen it. Don't waste your time.
Oh, okay. I know I ain't bugging. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Maybe cut y'all last.
yeah. So let me get to this next topic. Right?
Please.
Do dating formats such as the 20 verse one and the pop the
God,
balloons?
leave me out of this topic. Nah.
Do you think those are good, like effective ways to facilitate love? Like,
No, it really does remind me of like a hood version, ghetto version of The Bachelor, Bachelorette.
Mm.
Come on now, at the end of the day, that shit ain't love. That's lust. That's exactly what it is. It's no. No.
What's the craziest one that you've seen?
I only see it on my TikTok. I don't like go onto the page and like watch it or whatever. But
Right.
there was one, and I guess this girl, she popped a balloon and she said, "Oh, because you sound like my little brother."
Mm-hmm.
And basically, he was like, me and your little brother, we're from the same place. We probably went through the same
Oh, yeah.
things. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, but it's like, you want to pop the balloon because he sound like your little brother, and you want demean a man, call him little. Like, girl, he probably.
And he was being real respectful too.
Yeah,
man.
he
She
was, because I know
violent,
some
man.
uptown that would have been like, little, like, bitch, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Crazy.
You had
Yeah,
to-
you
you
had
had
to
to get
crying.
it. You know what I mean? Like,
What's your thoughts?
Truly,
Would
So-
you ever be on one of those?
never.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I think, honestly, my opinion of never being on one because is formed from how I see them already. Like the ones I've seen out of pocket. But my thing is, a lot of the times, again, a lot of people's opinions form from social media. I've never seen one where it was genuine, like, oh, I really like this person and we're gonna da-da-da-da-da. It's never been like that. I would see the pop the balloon ones be crazier because it would be like, you could see somebody's feeling the person that's there, but because mad people pop it, they're like, oh, never mind, pop the balloon.
Yeah, I've seen
you
that.
know you want that. If that's what you like, that's what you like.
Right.
But now you're so focused on what everybody else is saying, and when they ask you why you popped your balloon, you're like, the heel is breaking. What are you like? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
they be having the
Yeah,
stupidest
it's
excuses.
nonsense.
Like,
And now it's more of entertainment. Like, why you got Charleston White up there?
Yeah, that's,
he's
Whoa.
entertaining.
he is an entertaining
He is
person. Like, you know what I
entertaining.
mean? Like,
It's all entertainment. I pay that stuff no more.
What's your thoughts on this?
It's all superficial. It don't make no sense. If you're on there for love, baby, you're not gonna find it. That there is nothing about those type of formats that is like you were saying, it was the hood version of Bachelor, Bachelor. At least in those type of settings, you can be intimate with somebody, get to talk to them, get to know them. But again, this goes back into Catfishing. It's just what I'm looking at, and like those questions or bare minimum conversations, what are you really gonna find from that?
Yeah.
If you're looking for love, like something like that should be spontaneous, genuine. I don't think it should be planned. Like even people like on apps, like again, you go on dates, you find a match first, but in those type of formats, it's like, what are you really doing? It's entertainment.
But that's like
really all
it's
it
almost
is.
like real life Tinder. Like you just swiping left, swiping right. Like you know what I mean. You just see them in person, so it's like
They got a brief description on Tinder. I mean, before you swipe left.
True. They do go for mostly appearance.
Yeah.
One thing that I be seeing all the time, especially with the pop the balloon, it seems like the women can be very much more flagrant in their responses to how they reject men, and it's just like much more accepted. Like they can violate the shit out of this nigga. Like, but when a man can't really, I've seen some where they violate, but for the most part, men are usually respectful in that those pop the balloons. They can't really violate because if they do violate, obviously then with the backlash. But women be on that motherfucker, nah, yeah, you look like some bum ass nigga. You look like the nigga from Friday or some shit. They be just violating the nigga. I'm like, damn, it wasn't even that deep. Like, niggas, I seen one video, it was this light skinned woman, it's an attractive woman, but the men was like, you know, I'm gonna just, you're a very beautiful woman. I'm gonna pass on you. You know, I like my women much more melanated, like, you know, and they always respectful. Like, and she was like, cool, like, you get what I'm saying? But on the other end, the women just violating based off of like the nigga shoes is untied or some dumb shit. Like I'm just
a
like,
lot of
damn.
times they say stuff just to get laughs or just to get that clout too. And it's like, girl, most of them be up there looking crazy anyway.
I think that's what takes away from the genuinity of it. Like they just there to go viral and
the 20 verse 1 shits to me seemed much more like crazy because those won't be up there like, yeah, you trying to fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Immediately, I'm like,
I ain't gonna lie. There was one with Bow Wow.
Was insane.
Yeah.
Who? Nardo Wick.
Oh,
they went crazy over him. And I'm just like, girls, have some respect. You are in front of people. You are on camera.
If I was a bad bitch, I want to fuck me too. Hey, I want to suck
you
me
just
too.
ready to bust
Shout out
it
that
open.
song.
You just ready to bust it open right now. And it's just like,
no. The one with Bow Wow, a girl definitely bent over and showed. No, was it Bow Wow? Someone bent over and showed their pussy, and he was like, "Never mind."
Fabio, I think.
They went on a 20 verse 1 with Fabio, and he got 3 kids.
Yeah, and she,
it's for sure.
Girl.
Like she was wild. I seen that one.
Yeah, like she
was
just,
mad aggressive. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like
she. Sure.
Hey, you say you got 3 kids?
Don't Fabio got 3 kids and he lived with a shorty? No, my thing is he got 3 kids and he lived with a shorty. Why are you going on the 20 versus 1 and he's with shorty cheating on her already?
Wait, he lived with a shorty?
He made a whole song about it, one of his last songs, and then he went viral because she called him out because she went on live calling him out. And in the song that he just made, he was like, how you trying to kick me out the crib I pay for and all this extra shit.
Too much. A 20 versus 1 and you got this drama?
And you are in your 30s.
They still line up for it.
They definitely still line up for, like, you know what I mean? Like, but like again,
that lifestyle, man.
Looking at that lifestyle, like, yo, fuck, I could deal with the 3 kids. He, you know what I mean? He gonna provide me that lifestyle that I want. Like, you get what I'm saying? So
sugar daddy
vibes. Like, you know what I mean? Let me get to this next topic. Yo, before we get into this next topic, hit that like button, subscribe, get the merch, Dailyrapupcrew.co.
Like,
join the membership, please, man. We need y'all to join the membership. We got a lot of
book your trainer. Summer coming. Hello.
At
Sapphire Marie.
Y'all join the membership. Y'all might get
y'all backs is big. Come on, let's get to it.
Let me get to this next topic, right? What insights can you gain from encountering the family's person that you're talking to?
Oh, who's going first on this?
Y'all want me to? You need to meet that boy family.
What you gonna
meet that girl family. Now, granted, everybody's not a direct reflection of how they grew up. Some people, learn from their mistakes, learn from their parents' mistakes, learn from, But you need to see the trauma they went through. You need to see the people they had around them. And then you can learn either why they're like that, what they're lacking in life, what they need from you, or what you need to run away from.
You ever been in a situation where you was talking to somebody, you met their family, you was like, you know what, I get it now. I get why you act this way.
For sure.
Every one of them.
Every one of them?
Every one of them.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, because I told you, when I'm in this, I'm in this.
You got to move it.
So it's like, in my dating history, I don't date just because. Like, once I date, it's like I'm looking for something long term. So it does turn up getting into, I would say, a minimum of 2 years. Yeah, that was my shortest relationship. So of course, there's some family that's gonna come by, and like especially if holidays come up and stuff like that, so that I've been around them and I can see the type of environment. It's kind of like what's that called? That nature versus nurture type thing. So it's like, okay, I understand how you are based off society because like this is where you went to school, this is where you went to work, you grew up in this type of neighborhood. Cool. Now, where are your fundamentals? That comes from home. So seeing how your mother acts, what relationship you have with your father, if there is one, or even if there is one with the mother, sometimes that's not a thing as well. And how your siblings are, how you carry yourself around them. It gives me more of an insight of to who you are as a person and how you came about as a whole. And then now seeing how your family is, that gives me insight into how our family would be if it gets to that point. So how are you going to raise your children? Are you going to be with gentle parenting? Are you going to be disciplined extremely? Are you going to go to ends where it's like it's borderline like abusive, which is where most of us the environment that most of us grew up in, unfortunately? Are you going to repeat these generational curses that you yourself say that you don't like, but around your family, you're still portraying or carrying that? So that gives me like a bigger indication on where you stepping away from them and what you're going to carry into your own lifestyle as a man or a woman or as a mother or as a father. And not to say that, yes, you're going to always be across that line. Some people become the opposite of what they were raised in. You could have great parents, but you took advantage because you never had anybody telling you no. So then now you as a parent, you don't even know how to control your kids. You're just letting them run rampant. I don't want somebody that can't discipline your kids because everything has their limit. So whereas me, for example, you have a parent that's, I want to say, a bit absent, that's not really there, that's not playing their role. I could end up being just like that. Or I could see that and be like, okay, this is not what I want to be. This is not the type of mother that I want to have, type of mother that I want to be with my children. This is not the type of wife I want to be to my husband, because I've seen the effects that it played on my household as a child. Why would I want to bring a child in the world and put them through what I went through? And I know I didn't like it. So it really, I would say it's kind of subjective when it comes to that. So some people, they are who they are based on where their home is. And then other people, depending on their situation, they are the opposite. But I feel like regardless of seeing somebody's family, they are going to be who they are at the end of the day. It's just something that you should consider or factor into a person overall.
Harlem, what you think about this?
Harlem.
Did he just call me Harlem?
Jones.
I feel like let me say my last relationship, I met the family, I met the dad, brothers, and everything like that. And I see how he is. Granted, he has kids. I see how he was with his children and everything. And at one point, I definitely did think like, all right, I could have kids with this man. Like, I could see how he's in the kid's life and everything like that. Now, I feel like it really does depend on the person. But with that situation with him, he definitely did come from a loving, caring, nurturing home. Now me, I have a kid, and my mom's side is really, they argued and everything like that. My father's side, they're really more so laid back. So I feel like I'm a mixture of both. Now with my son, I try not to bring my mom's side out of me because I don't want him to get that. But granted, he's a 2-year-old. It is hard. All right. So I definitely do have to like remind myself, like, don't do this, don't yell at him. So it definitely does depend on the person. Okay. That's how I feel.
Ace, what's your thoughts? What can you learn about people's family member that you're dating?
Like they said, I mean, they pretty much touched on everything, but I feel like you just got to know the person that you're talking to, because like she said, their parents could be one way and they look at that like, nah, I'm not trying to be like that. And they be the totally opposite. So you really just got to see if this person is healing, if they're on a healing journey, they're going through therapy, all that good stuff. And they have good intentions. They saying the right things. Their actions is matching up with their words. And then I think, I don't know. Me personally, I got a great relationship with my mother and my sister and everything. But I don't know if that's a reflection on how I am in a relationship, you know what I mean? Because I mean, it might be. I guess I don't know.
sure.
I think it is a
might
little
be,
bit.
but I'm
It's
saying
Sure.
Not to an extent.
it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's not set though. Because you can have a great relationship with your mom and your sister, but you like, yeah, fuck these bitches out here. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's like it depends on the person. It depends on the person you're talking to. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, I see. I was going to say, I figured, usually in my experience, people that have a good relationship with, their mothers or, siblings or fathers, they usually have a certain level of respect. For example, I'm very curious with the women I'm dating. Number one, if their father is in their life, and then if their father is in their life, how they interact with their father. Because some of them don't have no respect for their father. Like, you think that you gonna have respect for me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not saying that's with all the cases, but you know what I mean. In some cases, like women, if they don't got respect for their father, they damn sure ain't gonna have respect for the woman. If you ever heard a woman, say, my own father don't tell me what to do. You think I'm gonna let him? Like, that's a real narrative. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I base that off of your relationship with your father. Even in some cases, how a man is respectful to or how he treats his mother is very much an indication of how he would treat his woman. Like, the love of his life or the woman that's important to his life, how does he treat her? He's most likely not these regular random bitches out here that ain't shit, but the woman that you actually made a commitment to in a relationship, you gonna have a level of respect for her. Now, if you have a toxic relationship with your mother, 9 times out of 10, I can promise you're gonna have a toxic relationship with your girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know any better. That's the only interaction you ever seen with a woman in your life is that toxic. You think that's normal at this point. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think you can learn a lot specifically with parents. Like, I was just watching motherfucking Love is Blind, and niggas is talking about Clay. Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen Love is Blind. It's a show on Netflix. But anyway, so Clay had a very interesting dynamic with his mother and father. Like, he grew up and seeing them have this toxic relationship. So now when he's looking for love, you know what I mean? That's constantly reflecting on his love life, and he's not sure if he wants to make that commitment because he's still working on himself, and that's because what he grew up and seeing. Like, so ultimately, he left Shorty at the altar, like, because he was like, yo, I'm just, I'm not ready there. I haven't done the healing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
you ain't never gonna heal again.
Yeah,
he definitely left at the altar. Like, you know what I mean? But
he wilded out with that.
He did wild out.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it could definitely be an indicator, but you definitely got to see where that person is in their lifetime and not in their lifetime, in their life, and what they doing to work on themselves. You know what I mean? And then go from there.
Okay.
Forgive me. I was supposed to break fast at 7:27.
Oh, not yeah.
Oh, that's why you twisting her?
Yeah.
She twisting it.
I'm trying to be awkward, but it's that time.
All right, so
Stomach growling.
This next topic, what aspect of the opposite gender are you most envious of?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
This is exactly how I thought this was gonna go. When
Really?
I made this
Okay.
Because they got it good. You know what I mean? As a woman, you got it good. So why would you envy a nigga that gotta work, provide, gotta deal with these attitudes? The
only thing they normally, I was expecting this rebuttal. Y'all get to have sex with whoever y'all want and nobody judges y'all. That's the only thing they ever really say about a man. Like, so I thought that was gonna get that negative.
Morals here, sweetheart.
What would you say?
You talking to women with morals here?
That's what they all say.
When I was younger, I was more jealous of men, and then I grew up and I was like,
and then you realize
y'all life
what
sucks.
really
What was you jealous
comes
about?
with y'all.
I thought y'all had it easy.
I feel so,
but y'all just hide it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Easy in what aspect? Like,
as if like, honestly, when I was younger and before I knew better, it was just like, oh, the world is handed to y'all. Y'all get whatever y'all want. Y'all get higher pay. Y'all get better jobs. Y'all get this. Y'all get that. All y'all got to do is just look good and walk out the door. Y'all fine. And like, when I thought about that question, I was like, oh, it's the maintenance. Like, y'all don't even got to do nothing. You need a haircut and you're fine. But then with that comes the fit, comes the shoes, comes the jewelry, comes the car, comes the crib, comes where you taking me out. Add all that up, that is way more than it takes for me to look like this right now. And I don't envy that. And society places so much pressure on y'all. And I don't think that it's fair because men are the same, not to say y'all are the same as women, but you're a human being at the end of the day. You have the same emotions, but you guys are taught from young, oh, boys don't cry. Oh, keep your chin up. Oh, yeah, it's going to get hard. Man up. It's crazy. Y'all aren't even allowed to express yourselves without some negative connotation going through it. Whereas me, I could break a fingernail and cry. You gonna see 5 niggas coming, oh my God, baby, are you okay? Let me come fix it. Are you fine? I could play a damsel in distress, have somebody come save me. Y'all do it, y'all are called weak. Y'all are called failures. Y'all look down upon.
Little bitch.
Like
I wasn't gonna say it, but
Right?
and granted, life hits y'all just as hard, if not harder.
Oh.
Being a provider is not easy. That is not something that I would ever say I would want to do as a woman. Granted, for myself, I have to.
Right.
If I'm a mother, then yeah, definitely. But as a man, that is automatically placed on you from the moment you were born. You were taught that you're supposed to be strong, you're supposed to lead, you're supposed to provide, protect. Those are not easy titles to carry.
Right.
What is
For
there to
sure,
envy
for sure.
about?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I do appreciate
And
that.
and that's why I was saying about how it went from Miss Independent to the soft girl era. They saw what it was like to be a man, and they was like, nah, this ain't us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we want equal rights. Motherfuckers got the equal rights, and I like, nah, y'all can have those rights back. Like,
and
so,
it had that story about the girl that well, she pretended to be a man on Tinder or whatever, and she ended up committing suicide because she like
she's a
I
weak
think-
That was
bitch.
the thing.
I think she was like a trans.
Fools.
She was like a trans.
She's like a
man.
trans or
She
something.
portrayed herself
Oh.
to be a man, and then like
let's call her a
the-
weak bitch. I'm so sorry. Rest in peace.
You called her a wee bitch?
She did, but
They gotta record it.
but
I
yeah,
gotta admit it because they gotta record it.
but yeah, like it's not that many advantages to being a man in general. You know what I mean? I think women have it a lot easier. I was out with my homegirl the other night. We went to the strip club, and I had my singles. So she like, oh, let me get some of your singles. I'm like, where your singles at? She like,
That's just your friend. Me
I'm-
and my girls got
I'm
the
just a-
singles.
this is what she said to me. I'm just a girl. And
That's my line though. I'm just a girl.
I said, you right here, girl.
And mind you,
You enabling this
free lap
behavior.
dances
You
they
see
get,
that?
like, you
The
know what
free
I'm
lap
saying?
dance.
They
We
get
definitely
free
get
lap. They
free
ain't
lap
gotta spend
dances.
no money.
I've
that's
never
a fact.
Strip
spent
bitches coming up to them dancing and shit like that. I'm
talking about, hey,
I gotta spend my
friend.
money. Y'all getting that shit for free? Like,
Yes.
nah, like, you know what I mean?
So, yeah.
So yeah, I think
That's how y'all said it.
He enabled that.
I did.
He literally
did.
did.
But I only did that because she was my homegirl though. Like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Like,
Even when we out, like we was out at the strip club, had the bottles. You know what I mean? We looking around, the women is like, they know they ain't got to put in for no bottles, but they gonna damn sure be drinking the motherfuckers. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's
a fact.
there's a lot of been.
Some people are saying, I don't even drink, but when the bottles got there, let me get one.
Yeah, that shit irked me. I'm not gonna lie to
Crazy,
you.
but yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's like normal. Usually when we have this conversation, the only thing that the benefits that men seem to have that women want is the whole option to be sexually liberated without being judged and be a whore and a hoe, whatever the case is. That's the only benefit that women seem to have, that they can look at men and be like,
There's
I would
no
want
real
those benefits.
benefit to
Like,
that.
but and I was on Wolf podcast and I had made a
Shout out to Halfway Up.
shout out to Apple. And we was talking about, the patriarchy. And I think sometimes, again, we associate white patriarchy and we just give it across all men and think that black men have that same advantage of the white
Right,
patriarchy.
right.
Like you said, oh, men get paid more, men get this, that, and the third. That's white men.
Yeah,
Like, you know
they
what I'm
get
saying?
paid
Black
more.
men, we don't get those same benefits. Like, you get what I'm saying? So even when I ask women, if you could change your gender, would you rather be a man or a woman in society? And you would think, because they say, oh, men got it so easy, I get to do this. They gonna still say a woman. Like, you know what I mean? There ain't no way they switching to a man. Like, you get what I'm saying? So
The only benefit I would say to being a man is you ain't got to deal with a monthly. That's
Yeah.
really-
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Like,
Even
that is
we
fair.
can control those now.
Yeah.
Birth
What you mean?
control.
Oh,
Birth
you get
control.
what you get less or none?
Less.
Damn
I
nigga,
don't-
yeah,
you don't
none.
get
like,
it.
you know
Well,
what I'm
But
saying? Like,
depending
get
on
it.
which one.
Is that healthy though? Like, ain't that cleaning y'all out? Like, is that healthy to stop that shit? Like,
It could be managed with that.
I
But
might
you
wanna
deal with it for like 2 days, you'll be fine.
Okay.
But y'all gotta deal with whatever y'all going through forever.
Life.
Every day.
Ain't nothing to be jealous about
Even
from
the
no
monthly
man.
stops at some point.
I agree with you completely. I'm just saying that the only benefit that we might have.
Only benefit
would be
y'all
that-
have
Yeah.
is y'all can get y'all dick sucked. I would love to know how that feels.
You get your pussy ate.
You
That's
were.
not good.
Yeah, no, it's great, but it's great.
That's how we feel.
But I know that slaps for y'all. I know that slaps. Are you crazy?
Listen, it depends
Look
on
at how y'all
It
act. Y'all
definitely
act
depends
stupid
on-
as hell.
just like it depends on who eating your pussy, it depends on who's sucking your dick.
Yeah, but y'all be acting crazy over some mid, so I know it's different.
Who be acting crazy
Nah,
on
yeah,
some
nigga,
man?
definitely.
Girl.
Well, how you
Who you
know
talking
that?
about?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And how you know it was mid?
I got a phone. I got a website.
Girl.
the acting, like,
When
you
I
know
say
what I'm saying?
girl?
Like, yeah.
You talking about porn?
Yeah,
What's the
everybody
topic?
acting on that motherfucker.
Word.
Oh, another advantage they got. You know how many women I talked to? Yo, how your day was going? I don't know how I'm gonna pay these bills. Like, y'all motherfuckers go always reach out and get y'all bills paid. Like, men, we ain't.
Time out. We're not
Not
gonna
too-
go there.
not too-
Because the amount of bum ass niggas that freeload off of women, We're
niggas-
next topic
It's not the amount. It's a small minority of men. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Small minority of men? Pull
Yes.
up the stats.
Huh?
Pull up the stats.
I'm gonna pull up the same stats you had where you
Pull up the stats.
So you gonna say
I'm talking
that
from personal experience.
more
Pull up the
and I'm
stats.
not
getting
talking about
their
You
bills
personal
paid
said
by women?
general. Huh?
In general, more men getting their bills paid by women than women.
I didn't say more, but I'm just saying the amount of bum ass niggas that are getting it.
so-
We
And the
can't use
amount-
that
the
like
amount- there's
women
more-
will
there's
complain,
more-
but there's men complaining as well.
Yeah, but it's a minority of men.
Oh, that's what you're gonna go with?
It's for sure. Unless
Okay.
you got data to prove me otherwise, or that's your
Listen,
personal experience.
none of us is pulling out the phones to bring it up. It's okay.
No. You ever pay for nigga bills?
Absolutely.
Who?
Oh,
You?
yeah,
Oh,
nah,
shit,
you
that-
nah, hell no.
Absolutely.
Wait.
Nah, the way you be talking, how
Nah,
you
nah,
might
nah,
disrespect the fuck
We
out
all
of that
done it.
nigga.
No,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I've grown up. I've grown up now where I'm not gonna come out and straight do it. It's different. If I'm with somebody and they're going through something, I'll do it now. But there's times in my life before where I'll just do it.
Does the man
Just
come
cause.
to you like, yo, I'm down bad, I need help? Like,
It's
pray
happened.
for
Yeah.
you.
oh, word?
Would you said I'll pray for girl.
you pray for him, you said?
No, I mean, in your experience, like, was it?
It's happened. Now, recently, no.
Oh god.
Recently, no. I feel like I learned from overdoing that.
Mm.
Where it's like, okay, granted, I love taking care of people that I care about,
Yeah.
but you got to know when you're either being used or when it's not benefiting you at all.
Mm.
So right now,
What
it
is
can't
that-
happen.
that's
Motherfuckers be
situation
paying a
on
nigga phone bill and swear to God they paid a nigga rent or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's shit, he got Boost Mobile. Like, his shit was $25. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
Bro.
Like, I'm just fucking with you. Yo, let me get to this last topic, man.
$25 a month.
$25 a month, like, you know what I mean? Metro PCS.
Yeah.
But has infidelity became more tolerable in this generation?
Oh man. You want to go Harlem again?
Why are you? I
Has-
definitely
you
do
said
think
tolerable?
infidelity has been more tolerable. I mean, social media and everything like that. Like, once again, I know sugar babies. Like, yeah, I was with this other girl. Yeah, I fucked her. All right, cool. Here's 20,000. Shut up. Let's go. Hush money.
Mm-hmm.
20,000, hush. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let me hush.
I was
Girl, why you talking about me on that show? Like, yeah.
I would say it's definitely become more tolerable because people are more open about it. It's not really more so as hidden, whereas before, like, you would have to, call on a landline, be like, all right, meet me here at this hotel at this time. Now you got, like, but nowadays it's so readily accessible. So it's just like, okay, people feel that they have options left and right. And even if it's not like, in depth, whereas like, yeah, I feel like I could see myself as this person. It's like, oh, you look good. I want to do things to you. Let's link up. All right, cool. Especially if you know that you're dating an attractive person, whereas an attractive man or attractive female, you already know they DMs be going crazy just off of how they look. And depending on the person, that's where self-discipline comes in. And it's just like, okay, I'm not going to throw my dick or my pussy at any nigga, at any bitch that comes my way. Whereas there's some people that's literally what gets them off. It's just being able to, I don't want to say express themselves, but being able to do whatever they want. And like, let's say you're in a relationship. I've had guys that was just like, all right, so yeah, being with me entails this, that, and third. You're gonna run across females. You're gonna run across this, and like I'm really. But I feel like what the problem is, people aren't open and honest about what they want or what they're looking for, and then that's where the problem comes in. So if you're in a relationship and you know that, okay, this is supposed to be a monogamous thing, and you know that you're incapable of that, at least disclose that as first, let that person choose. But I feel like I said, because these options are here, like swipe left, swipe right, DM here, Tinder this, Instagram that, it's just like, oh yeah, I just did it. Like, I've heard it was
So
an accident.
like,
yeah, I heard it was an accident. I'm like, how?
I just
How
I just slipped and fell in the pussy. Like,
How? Please.
No, I pulled the trigger.
So because it's so accessible, people, I feel like, have lowered their standards and just like, you know what, they're great in every other aspect. This is just sex. It has nothing to do with how they treat me or provide for me. So I'll put up with it because everywhere else they're great.
you know how I knew there was a shift in this whole like infidelity thing, because you could arguably say now that women cheat more than men, right? You know, I've spoken to women, you know what I mean? Some women will admit it. Y'all might not admit it, but collectively, I think women cheat more than men because it's so easy. Like you said, it's so accessible for y'all. Like, y'all got 1,000 niggas in your DM. The nigga act up one day. Listen, you might entertain that nigga because he got on your nerves. You get what I'm saying? So I think this is how I knew it changed, right? And let's go back to the women. When women started saying, I'm single until I'm married, you know what I mean? To justify, like, listen, technically, I'm not married, so, you know, I didn't cheat. That's how I knew it was a change. I'm like, okay, the pendulum is shifting in this motherfucker, because now all of a sudden, you single until you married, like, you know what I mean? But I was cheating the other day, I was a motherfucking cheater and all this other dumb shit, like, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know why niggas never use that. I'm single until. We should have used that first.
Y'all been using it, have y'all not?
Because men don't want their woman out there. So you say he's single, then she's single.
Exactly.
And that is a fair truth.
I mean, so you gotta make sure you keep that lock on.
Facts.
Lock it down.
Yeah.
But
that don't work. I'm on what you want.
Oh boy. But I think, like you said, there's just a lot more options out there, and I don't know. People are just coming to the realization that maybe monogamy might not be the natural course. Like outside of the U.S., monogamy is not natural. This is basically like a U.S. thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's one man, one woman. But you go outside the country, like, I mean, people are out there, you know what I mean? So I think
isn't that like that thing, like the sister wives thing or something like that?
That's
the culture.
More common. That's more common outside of the U.S. than it is than monogamy.
I think more women. And I know it's not y'all gonna say, nah, me, I get that. I think more women would tolerate infidelity as long as their needs are being met within that relationship.
That's literally what I just said.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so just when we had the Y Eli situation, you know what I mean? She didn't care as long as her needs were being taken care of. Like, it's like, all right, whatever. Like, just don't bring no babies or STDs and all this other shit. Like, as long as my bills getting paid, you taking me out, doing all this.
Just go back to what I was saying earlier. As long as you happy in these certain aspects, you're gonna overlook other shit. You know what I mean? So you living that lifestyle, you happy. All right, you cheating, all right, cool. You know what I mean? I'm still going on this vacation though, you know what I
mean? Yeah, that's a fact, man. Like, so
yeah, real quiet, man.
Listening.
Didn't you have a story that you wanted to tell?
Oh, man?
Yeah. On this particular subject?
You was talking in the beginning, like, damn, this shit too personal. Like, I mean, we gotta hear this person.
Yeah.
We remember, like, you know.
And I kind of briefly touched on it already, where I've heard that it's like, okay, I look like this and these are certain things that are going to come with me. And you have to, you know, not say brace yourself, but it's more so like, okay, be prepared for that.
So what was your response in that situation?
I didn't deal with it.
Okay. So
I entertained it, but it never got to the point of a relationship because I'll be fair. In that situation, I knew what it was. I got the heads up. I had the choice at that point. And it was just like, okay, at the time, like I said, everything I needed was getting done. I knew I didn't want nothing further. So do whatever you're going to do. I don't want to find out about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't need nobody bringing anything to me. I'd be your favorite, let's say. And
you're the main.
Yeah. And because, like I said, I had that choice, it wasn't anything detrimental to me. But then once my emotions shifted and it got to the point where it's like, okay, I kind of just want you to myself now. I don't really want you out here. We've been doing this long enough. I do think that I want a relationship. And dude was like, hold on, we had a good thing. Like, what's going on? And that's when it's just like, okay, this is where I need to remove myself. This is where I know I'm setting myself up to get hurt now because, again, you're being honest. You're just like, hey, I'm cool with this. I don't need nothing more from you, and nor am I trying to pursue that. And I'd rather, you know, still be out here, but, you know, keep you in my corner. And it's just like, okay, I no longer fit here.
I like that accountability. You know what I mean? We had a woman on the show, and it was a similar situation we was talking about. And she was calling us a weak nigga because because the shorty kept coming back and giving us sex and we taking it. We supposed to be like, nah, I'm gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? Even though I'm being upfront with you, letting you know what it is, I'm a weak nigga because you keep coming back to me, and I'm accepting it.
Yeah, she was saying, because you knew she has feelings, even though you communicate to her, like, I don't want a relationship, whatever the case is, and you knew she had feelings for him, you still kept taking the pussy. Like, you should have been like, oh, no, I'm good on the pussy. Like,
it was her choice to give it.
Yeah.
That's what we were saying.
I mean, she's speaking from her own trauma, that's all.
But she...
Shout out to you, baby girl. I hope you heal.
Girl,
don't give him no more pussy.
I think what's interesting, like, you know, sometimes the attractive women, right? When they're dating a man, they will say something like, you know, if they're attractive women, you know they're getting attention from other men. Not saying they're entertaining them, but you just know it's a thing. So they'll be like, oh, well, you knew I was a bad bitch when you met me. You're being insecure because But on the reverse end, if y'all deal with a nigga who y'all know is a handsome nigga, the women is on him, y'all don't want to be wanting to deal with that, but y'all want us to deal with the quote unquote bad bitch or whatever the case is. So why do you think that's a double standard? Because we have women that say, I like my niggas medium ugly. I don't like the handsome
no,
nigga.
they
I've never said that.
You gotta match me or better stop it. Wow, that's so funny. But I'm actually in something like that right now, where it's like we are like the bad bitches of
the bad. He a bad bitch. Like,
No.
Okay, let me not say that.
Wait, he the bad bitch?
No.
That's what she's saying.
No, wait a minute. Obviously, y'all see how I am. Y'all see how I look. This is how I am on a regular. This is how I just naturally carry myself. None of this is for show, not because I'm here. If we were going out to dinner, I'd be dressed the same way. Now, he is very much so on that same type of time. Very well dressed, very well groomed, put together. Literally, Mr. Put that shit on. Now, y'all need to stop. Now, initially, I was pursued in the beginning of the relationship, and.
But now you're a bad bitch.
No, listen.
Oh boy.
Listen. So at the beginning of the relationship, I was the one that was like initially pursued, like, and I wasn't looking for anything at that time. Like I had just got out of something like really, not say traumatic, but like literally the situation I just told you about, where I told dude, okay, like I don't want to be just in your corner no more. That went, and he was like, I'm gonna still do me, and I left that. And so I was on my healing process at that time. And then that's when we ended up crossing paths. So now what ended up happening is that towards, I would say, before the relationship started, like still early in the dating stages, it became apparent just like, okay, we're both like high caliber individuals. You're a high caliber man. I'm a high caliber woman. We get that. You have females on you. I can see it. It's happened in front of me. You've seen men come on to me like while we were in the same space. And the reason why that I feel like for me personally, that's not an issue, is because we both know how to carry ourselves in predicaments like that. Whereas for me, it's like, okay, a guy's going to come up to me. They talk to me all the time. I just walking in here, how many guys would try to stop to me? That's like something that happens every day. Whereas a man, it's not that prominent that women will always shoot their shot. Not to say it doesn't happen, but as much as a guy would try to come on to me, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So you as a man, you are either inclined or declined to pursue that. And it's what you do with that. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you know that you're him, right? Just like I'm her. And how you carry that persona is what I pay attention to. It's just like, okay, yeah, you could be him, but do you have self-discipline? Are you going to be respectful towards me publicly and privately? Are you going to carry yourself in a manner that's like, okay, even though the relationship may be private, are you going to let it be known that you're actually in one if somebody asks? Like, there's times where I've been with people and they're like, oh yeah, you know, girls be asking me, am I single? And I just leave it on red, or like I don't even answer. It's just like, what's the point in saying, why couldn't you just say no? What's the issue with that? So even though you're not responding, you're still leaving an open door.
Damn,
So
that's a double. Because if you reply, why are you replying to these bitches? Like, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't reply, then it's like, you know, it's tough. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No.
He didn't reply. Like, he left it on.
He left it on scene.
He wasn't entertaining it at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Act stupid? Hold on.
that's not.
Why y'all want to
that's not
act
acting
stupid?
I'm not entertaining.
So
her, like.
leaving somebody on scene is leaving the door open?
My thing is, why not just say you have somebody? What's the issue? Yeah, you could leave it on red and not reply.
I think no response is a response.
No response. I feel like in this situation, I'm gonna agree with them. No response.
That's a
good
response.
That works. If somebody out the bat, out of nowhere, asks you, Are you single and you don't respond? Fine. If there's a conversation and they ask you that, and then you're like, well, let me not answer it. You're just avoiding it. Why are you avoiding it?
Maybe the nigga getting
What was the
tired of telling these
conversation
bitches,
about?
like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, but
I'm just gonna ignore it. Like, it's not even that deep.
It depends
like,
on the
you know what I'm saying?
context.
Like,
We're just gonna leave it at that.
Facts, I agree. It's really all about context. Like, I feel like certain men know how to talk. Like, they have this gift of jab where they like to manipulate a situation and justify their actions, even though they know that it's wrong. And then they'll do this thing. It's like, oh, you're being emotional, or you're thinking too deep into it, or just relax. It's not that serious. Whereas I feel that men have this disconnect with women when it comes to stuff like that, because what might be nothing to you could be principle to us. So like this whole leaving them on red situation. Like if a dude asks me if I'm single, I leave it on red. As a guy, you're just like, oh, she not even entertaining that. It's whatever. It's cool. With me, I'm like, hold on, you're supposed to be my man. Why aren't you at least saying, no, you're not single? Yes, you're with somebody. Do you have to tell her that it's me? No. But clearly this person is interested in you. So I would say, like, again, it's context, it's subjective. Me personally, I feel like now you're just leaving a gate open because this person could end up spinning a block. It's like, oh, he probably just forgot or been busy. Come back around, start another little small talk, get back to this again. Then what?
I think women like the idea of the man being the prize, but they don't like the attention that comes with that man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what's wrong with that?
What you mean was because he's the prize. You know, most women are looking. He's an attractive person. His finances is up there. You know, he's going to get that attention. I'm not saying he's going to entertain it, but again, that might, if you're not a secure person, right, that might provoke. Oh damn, man, that woman over. I know I'm gorgeous, but she look better than me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and she need to get her mental together.
That's fair.
Because if I carry myself to a certain stature, I want my partner to be nothing less than, if not better. As a man, teach me, lead me. If you aren't at, I don't want to say at least on my level, because, you know, everybody's on their different paths and on their own timing. But like, you're not actively pursuing anything, then yeah, nah, I'm not going to give you a second look. But let's just say, like you said, got the finances, got the look, got the drip, got the car, got everything. Cool. Now, those are, like, again, back to the very first topic. That's all materialistic. Now, how do you carry yourself? How do you treat me? How do you treat your family, your friends? How does all of that comes into play? And even though you may be eye candy to these women, cool. That's perfectly fine. Just like to men, I'm an eye candy. I'm the prize. But if you're falling into that and you're just, you know, dropping your dick in every bitch that gives you the time of day or feeds your ego, I lose respect for you at that point, because you have no control over literally your ego. And men that are ego driven, I feel like for me, that's kind of the biggest turnoff, because now you have no self-control. You are letting something that is trying to say this in a nice way. You're letting something that's illogical rule you. And as human beings, that's what separates you from animals, that you're able to be rational. Now you're just going into an animalistic nature and just feeding into your ego, which craves and fuels your desires. And you have no discernment between what's right and what's wrong, because in your head, I'm getting what I want. And that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think a egotistical man is a very dangerous man. But I think sometimes, because we had a conversation with women, when you have that type of caliber of man, as a woman, you probably feel like you always have to constantly compete. You know what I mean? To stay at the head of the line. And I don't think a lot of women really want to constantly compete. Like, you get what I'm saying? Just like that man, you like being a prize because that man has to constantly show up for you, like, every day. Because if not, another nigga gonna step in. It's the vice versa with women. If you're not always competing, like, or not being your highest self, that next woman can come in and compete at that highest level. Like,
right now, with that, what you just said, that is very, very subjective, because I know with any man that I've come across that if I'm my true self for the full extent, they will never find somebody like me. And that's not even me gassing my head up. That's not me being egotistical. That's because I know who I am and I know what I bring to the table. And I'm not going to say I am the table, because that's not really what a partnership is. We're both adding to the table at that point. So for me having to compete, there is no competition. The only person I'm competing with is myself. The only person that in a relationship I'm competing with is the woman that you met initially, and to show you that there's better than just her. As far as anybody else goes, that's insecurity. That's where instability comes from. That's where if that man is not doing his job to let you know, okay, this is your spot, you got it, you're here, then you're going to let all these intrusive thoughts run you. And that's when you feel, oh my God, what if I don't like do my hair this week and he sees me with like my meeks in? He's going to go to the next bitch because her wig laid. What?
It's crazy.
That is...
crazy.
But that's something personal, because if you know that what you have is so solid, or like that person is genuinely with you for you, why should stuff like that matter? Why should that, like I said, why should that be an issue? Like, if you're with me, yeah, you're gonna see me without my hair done. Yeah, you're not gonna see me with lashes on. Yeah, you're not, bro. I'm not waking up with makeup on. I take care of my skin. What are you talking about? I'm going to sleep with a bare face. You're gonna see that. If you don't accept it, cool. I accept myself that way. There's no reason for me to feel like, oh, nah, he's going with her because she looks better. That's all subjective. Somebody I find attractive could be ugly as hell to her. Who's to say that's not the same when it comes to me?
Right.
So when it comes to stuff like that, it's really very subjective and based on the person and in the context of that type of relationship. It's really nothing that goes beyond that. It's really down to knowing the person that you're dealing with.
Yeah, man. I like that answer. That was pretty dope. We do gotta get up out of here again. Let them know where they can follow you at.
Right,
your DM stock is gonna go up after this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
you better say no.
Leave them on red, right?
Ain't none of that for you. After that speech.
But yeah, my Instagram is Sapphire Marie. It is SAPHFIRE Marie.
Oh. My name is Godiva. You can find me at DEMI Godiva, GODIVA.
Once again, my name is Crystal. My Instagram is Chanel X Crystal.
Listen, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yes, indeed.
Like if y'all didn't already subscribe. If y'all didn't already subscribe, man, join the second YouTube channel.
Become a member, man. All that shit.
What's the second YouTube channel?
Dailyrapupcrew clips.
Okay, man. And get the merch, Dailyrapupcrew.co. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We out.